What's up, gamers? So basically, making this video right now, how I got shredded. So, drinking some tea. I've drank, let's see, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. I've had 13 coffees today. That's the truth. I drank 13 coffees. I haven't eaten any food yet. And I had an organic cigarette at the pool. But I've done 180 push-ups today. What else have I done? I did a lot of jump rope for like 15 minutes, pretty hard. I did some shoulder shrugs, raises, whatever. But basically, the whole day I've been working out. The whole day I've been outside in the sun. Look at me. I look like a fucking... I look like a golden god. I'm a fucking lion, right? So, the reason I'm making this video is because for the longest time, all I wanted was to be shredded. The only thing on my mind was how I looked. And like, I'm 22 years old now. Today is June 11th. My birthday was on June 6th. I've been 22 years old for 5 days. And I gotta start recording this audio because the audio sucks. So right now the audio is gonna get better. So basically, the most important thing to me was how I felt and how I looked. So in high school, I was a band nerd. I was singing in the choir. I was actually really good at choir. We traveled across the country. I got to sing at the Nashville Country Music Hall of Fame. I literally won gold medals in high school for choir. They gave me like solos and shit. Like, it was great, right? It was fun. But at the end of the day, I had to stop doing that because I started falling in love with volleyball. So, for anybody that doesn't know, men's volleyball is a sport that's just pure force production, like explosive power, who can hit the ball the hardest. And I was like, yes. I was like, that's my favorite. So like basically, my whole life, every single aspect of my life started getting optimized around how explosive, just like literally how explosive can I be? How can I become the most powerful human to ever walk the earth, right? And how I did that was I started making sacrifices. So like, there was a moment where I almost got kicked out of the band in high school because I kept skipping practices. I was fucking so bored of this shit. I really didn't try. I really did not care anymore. And my band teacher, the band director, came to me and he's like, Liam, you know, when you signed up for band, you signed the contract and you have to go to the practices. And I was like, bro, sitting going like this, bam, 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 on the trombone is not increasing my testosterone. How is that gonna make me the most powerful human ever, right? So, little by little, as my personality changed, as I kind of became a different person, I started having different beliefs. I started having different priorities. So like, to give you an example, my mom, we live in Massachusetts, I live in Florida now. I fucking moved here a year ago. I'll tell that story in a minute, but the biggest change in my life that made me the person that I am was volleyball. So imagine you're me. Imagine everybody in the chorus hates you because all you do is smoke weed, you never practice, you don't try at all, but you're extremely talented, right? Like, how could you not hate that guy? So like, the funny part is, it was actually a blessing in disguise because everybody in the choir and in the band hated me. So it was like, easy decision, right? Let's just fucking go all in on sports and volleyball. So when I was 16 years old, I tried out for a club volleyball team. It was like a, there was tryouts. It wasn't like fucking school volleyball where if your mom signs you up, you're fucking on the team. There was some real, like, some real fucking sedentary lifestyle, chronic diseased, fucking flaccid motherfuckers on that team, right? Not a good thing or a bad thing, it's just who we got. So, the funny part about all that is, when I was 16, I tried out for that team, and I fucking made so many sacrifices the summer before. Imagine June, school ends, you're a sophomore in high school, and you are counting down there's 200 days until volleyball tryouts next year, and you're texting your high school coach all the time, and you're going to the gym all the time, and like it's all you can think about. Every single second of every day, you're texting memes back and forth to your friends, you're talking about volleyball, you're watching videos about volleyball, you're filming yourself play volleyball, you're playing volleyball, you're practicing, you're going to camps. It's like that time in middle school when all you could think about was that phase that you were in. If you were obsessed with Legos, or if you were obsessed with like fucking fidget spinners, or like Beyblades, or fucking being gay and homosexual, whatever you guys are into. The funny part is how you do one thing is how you do everything. So like, every time I practiced, every time I went up to like hit the ball, I went to spike, I was like, all right, well, it's gay if I don't hit the ball as hard as physically possible every single time. So like, that made me adapt. So like, I'm kind of losing track of my story here. My posture's kind of hurting. Let me move a little bit. But at the end of the day, the reason I made all those decisions and I got obsessed with volleyball, I'm kind of yapping now, is because I fit into that environment. I made sacrifices. I for my birthday, I was like, Mom, buy me a volleyball net. And like, being in a fucking spoiled white household where both my parents were college educated and had good jobs, and you know, we had like a 2-car garage, and we had a yard, and like we could have steak tips on the weekends, and we had good dinners and things like that. It's like I had a very spoiled life, you know. We weren't like rich billionaires, you know, we weren't filthy rich, but like pretty much my whole childhood I got everything that I asked for. And that made me, you know, I'm grateful for everything my parents did, but like at the same time, it made me not strive for greatness, you know. I'll give you an example. Like, Mark Zuckerberg and Elon Musk were like fucking like disgusting little nerds in high school and college. You know, you understand? It's like, I'll use Andrew Tate as an example. It's like, he was, if you look at the old pictures of him before he was a kickboxer, before he was famous, he was like literally a fucking disgusting little nerd, right? And I don't, like, he's helped my life a lot. Like, all the mindset stuff that he talks about, it's helpful. But no person who has a beautiful, perfect life, who has everything they could want, is going to actually go out there and work extremely hard to create a different life. It's like Mark Zuckerberg, Elon Musk, Andrew Tate, people like this, they did not grow up having like a perfect life. They weren't like the popular kid in high school. So, like me, the reason why I needed to like fucking destroy the old version of myself and just like sacrifice everything to become a fucking winner was because I was not happy with my life. So now I'm living in Florida. There's palm trees behind me. There's fucking lizards and shit. I got a view of a lake. Oh shit. Hold on. I got a view of a lake. I'll show you. That's the apartment that I live at. It's like raining right now. There's fucking alligators and shit. It's a beautiful place. But this isn't my end destination, you know. I'm not gonna retire and like die here, you know. This isn't like my end goal, my end purpose in life. Not in the slightest. Let me fucking fix this camera. Okay. Does that work? Okay, what about this? Is that good? Okay, I gotta fucking fix this fucking motherfucking camera. God damn it, motherfucker. Okay. Okay. Alright. Please stay. Okay, this is not fucking working. I gotta fix this camera. I'm not even gonna edit this out because editing is fucking gay and Jewish, and that's cringe, and I don't want to fucking type on the little documents and edit a video. That's so gay. Let me just focus on being as shredded as possible and convincing you to do what I say. Alright, that camera angle's good enough. Holy shit. So big. So, like I was saying, you're not gonna change your entire life. If you're super, super happy and you're so excited and you have a great, beautiful life and you have everything you could ever want. So for the first like 16 years of my life, I was comfortable. I did not have to change. I could do whatever I want, right? I could smoke weed all day, and my parents would like still give me money, and they would still feed me, and they would still like love me and whatever. And it's like, I'm extremely grateful for the unconditional love I got, but it's also at the same time, it enabled me to be a weak, soft, fucking just fag, you know? So, that tea is good. But the point of this video is like, I literally moved 1,000 miles away from my family because I could not stop smoking weed. That's pretty much the only reason. It's like, sure, I took a commission-only sales job selling solar panels, that's fine. But like, the true reason is because living in the environment in Massachusetts, there was weed everywhere. All my friends smoked weed. All my social circles were centered around weed and drugs and wasting time. And it's like, when I was in college, I intentionally failed all of my classes. I did one semester, I played Division III volleyball, I was on the volleyball team. I did not get like 1 minute of playing time because I wasn't actually that good. I wasn't very competitive. I just smoked a lot of weed in college, and I was overall a weak-willed individual in college, right? Why does that matter? Then I started taking psychedelic mushrooms, and I took an ounce of psychedelic mushrooms. I took 28 grams of outdoor-grown Cambodian psilocybin mushrooms. Crazy. Like, an average dose is like 1 gram. So I pretty much took 30 times the recommended amount, 30 times more than you're supposed to take. And basically, I completely lost my mind. I swear to God, I literally like deadass lost my mind for like a couple weeks, couple months. It actually took a lot of work to like actually get back to being present, because for a long time I could not differentiate imagination from reality. So now that I'm at this point now, I pretty much have everything I've ever wanted. I have everything in my life. Like, I know you're watching this video, you don't think I'm a liar, you know, I'm not like, I'm just trying to tell the truth of what I did. I've lived in 5 different states, I've had 5 different sales jobs, I moved across the country a bunch of times in search of a better life, trying to escape smoking weed. That's pretty much what I did. In January of 2022 or 2023, I moved to Florida. I found a commission-only sales job selling solar panels. And then the manager pretty much said, well, I guess if he's serious and he's actually gonna move across the country, fuck it, we'll onboard him. So I was like, say less, sign me the fuck up. So I put in my email, whatever, got in my little Toyota Prius, rest in peace. And I made the 24-hour drive from Massachusetts to Florida. I was living with my aunt Sandy, love Sandy, oh, what a pure soul. Fucking love Sandy. Sandy's great, so beautiful, great woman. But never met someone more full of love than Sandy, Aunt Sandy, truly. But I lived at my aunt's house rent-free for a while. I did not make any money from the solar panel job because I was smoking weed all the time. I had no control over myself. I was basically, I changed my environment, but I did not change my identity. And I still just smoked weed all the time. And let me move this. Okay, that's a little bit better. But I basically smoked weed all the time. And like, okay, good, this is still going. You can change your environment as much as you want, but if you don't change your identity, if you don't change the belief systems in your head that actually cause you to go and repeat these behaviors and take this action, you're never gonna change. And it took me like literally years to realize this. All of your experiences in life are relative, right? If you wake up and your phone is right next to you, and you have like social media and TikTok and Instagram right on your front page, you have notifications buzzing. If you wake up and you're like slow and you don't really have enough oxygen in your brain, you haven't actually woken up yet, your brain is not gonna be able to make a clear decision. You're gonna reach for your phone, you're gonna start scrolling, and because the first thing you did the second you woke up was indulge in just rewarding instant gratification, just succumbing to the repetitive behavior, the second that you stop rewarding yourself, you are going to feel stress and pain and have withdrawal symptoms of addiction. Gaming addiction is real. TikTok addiction is real. This generation is absolutely fucked. Like, completely fucked. And that's one of the biggest reasons why I'm this person that I am right now. Like, I didn't get this way by accident. I didn't just wake up one day and I was this guy, you know? It took thousands and thousands and thousands of hours of repetition. Constant repetition carries conviction. Do you understand? And the one thing I guess I want to, like, the point of this video is that how I got shredded, and the answer is I hated my life so much that I literally lost all fucking dopamine, no cortisol, no serotonin in my brain. Imagine waking up, smoking as much weed as possible, scrolling on TikTok, ordering Uber Eats, eating candy, eating Doritos, eating chocolate, eating shit, and then forcing yourself to throw up, living the most just pleasure-seeking, addictive, miserable life. When you live life on easy mode, living in reward, guess what? You're gonna be unhappy. Who would have thought? Oh, that's crazy, all right? So, like, oh my God, I'm fucking shredded. But, I kind of realized that you've always wanted the same thing. Whether you realize it or not, you have always wanted the same thing, you know? You're always going to try to blend into your environment. You are always going to fit in, whether you realize it or not. If you want to Google this, it's called mirror neurons. Like mirror, look in the mirror, and a neuron in your brain. So mirror neurons is why yawns are contagious. If I go, that yawn, you are going to yawn. Yawns are contagious because the brain has neurons that are magnetically just like, sound like a schizo, but it's like, it's electricity, it's magnetism. Like, your mind is a magnet. What do you want to attract? So, like, if you walk into a room and there's a bunch of fat, obese, just sedentary lifestyle, just lard-ass, big belly motherfuckers, you are going to start to feel, think, act, and behave like these people, whether you realize it or not. That's why families, you know, it's like, I sound like this, and I like the Red Sox, and I like Tom Brady and the Patriots, and I like I like smoking weed, and I like fucking clam chowder, because I'm from Boston, right? This is what I sound like. I'm like, you fucking motherfucker, right? If I grew up in the South in Alabama, I would probably like trucks and like incest and racism and, you know, shit like that, right? You're gonna blend into your environment whether you realize it or not. So, like, eventually, I realized, like, what is it that I really want? Like, what am I optimizing for? And when I ask myself this question, is like, what am I running from? Like, what is my pain? What am I optimizing for? And I was optimizing for balancing my hormones and getting more healthy and more attractive and more just shredded, right? And if you make sacrifices and you make a decision that you only want one thing and you put that one thing above everything else in your life, it's like, it's almost impossible that you don't get it. Do you understand? It's like, yeah, I fucking took like a dangerous amount of psychedelic drugs in high school. Yeah, I smoked so much weed, I fucking destroyed a lot of gray matter in my brain. I'm 22, but I look like I'm fucking 40. It's whatever, bro. But I have big muscles, and I'm shredded, and I have tons of energy, and I have testosterone, so it doesn't fucking matter, right? So I'm yapping now, fucking let's get this train back on track. What is the point of this video? And the point is, you've always wanted the same thing. Whether you realize it or not, you always wanted the same thing. Every single one of your ancestors, every single one of your children and grandchildren in the future, they're all going to want the same thing every minute of every day. They're going to want to fit into their environment. And you can do things to lock in. You can fucking use nicotine and caffeine, and you can fucking put in music in your ears that fucking fast bumping frequencies just to make your heart rate speed up, you know, listening to techno music in the gym. There are things you can do to change your emotional and your hormonal heart rate. Your, what's the word I'm looking for? like your nervous system, like your threat level, you know? So the one thing I can do better than anybody else in the world is regulate my nervous system for action. You know, maybe I'm schizophrenic, sure. If a doctor got his hands on me, he would be like, well, you have 8 out of the 10 symptoms of schizophrenia, the fucking Jewish number doctors or whatever the fuck. But my muscles are bigger, so my opinion is correct. Do you understand? So I'm kind of losing track of my train of thought right now, but the whole point of this video, the whole reason I'm even making this is because I truly have everything I have ever prayed for. I have everything that I prayed for. I have everything that I've ever wanted. You know, I'm not a millionaire. I'm like pretty broke actually, but I am fucking shredded. And I'm living in Florida, and I wake up every single day, and the first thought in my head, every single day, I just wake up and I do whatever the fuck I feel like. Every single day, no matter what, I have never not done whatever I felt like. And people are gonna say, oh, that's so gay, that's feminine feelings. You gotta have discipline, you gotta have pain, you gotta fucking... Bro, tell me how any of your ancestors, the thousands of ancestors that came before you, did any of them resist their instincts? Did any of them like resist their natural urges? Sure, you can read the Bible and read the Quran and read the fucking Jewish book and like fucking, you know, delay gratification, and you can like fucking be disciplined and you can work hard and do all that shit, but like at the end of the day, you are an animal reacting to your environment. And I know I don't sound like someone who is retarded, who doesn't know what they're talking about. Do you understand? So imagine, instead of waking up with your phone next to you with tons of social media and notifications and just flashing images and colors to make you super addicted to that repetitive behavior, what if you went out of your way to create a life where you could trust your instincts and do whatever the fuck you feel like every single day? And that is exactly what I've done. I wake up, I fucking grab my balls, give them a scratch, look at myself in the mirror, fucking stretch, I start being racist, I go on Instagram, I look at my DMs. The first thing I do when I wake up, I go on Instagram, I look at my DMs, I look at Dylan Seville's contact. I always wake up to racist memes from Dylan Seville. He's my friend, he's my dog, my day one. And I go through all the fucking racist DMs that we're all sending back and forth, and once I've cleared my DMs, I'll whip out my phone, go on Twitter, type something. I'm just like, be as delusional as possible. You have to move faster. You have to be more racist. You need more testosterone. You need more explosive force production. And like, basically, I've created a life where I never have to do anything that I don't want. And I'm not a millionaire. I'm not extremely rich, but I can eat steak every single day. I eat steak for breakfast. There's potatoes in the oven right now. I'm so excited. And dude, I fucking eat steak for breakfast every single day. You know? It's like I'm in the sun all day, and it's like every minute of the day I do whatever the fuck I feel like. Isn't that more desirable than making like $200K a year at a fucking desk job? Do you understand? There's no such thing as a lack of movement. There's no such thing as staying in the same place. There's no such thing as staying still. There's no such thing as running away from something. There's no such thing as like fear and pain. There's no such thing as running away and avoiding your problems. There is only the pursuit of a vision in your mind. Your mind is a magnet. You see an attractive girl on the street, you get like literally attracted to her. Do you understand? Your mind is a magnet. And like, I'm being schizo right now, but I'd rather be schizo than be average. And that's the truth. Truth is the language of God. And like, I can lie, I can pretend I'm better than I am, I can pretend I'm like a millionaire genius, and I can pretend I'm the king of the world, but it's like, happiness is the difference between expectation and reality. If I wake up and I tell my girlfriend, I'm gonna run 10 miles. If I run 9 miles, there is some part of me that's gonna know I did less than what I was expecting. Like if you tell a kid, oh, we're gonna have ice cream after dinner, I'm gonna give this kid candy, bro, you better give them candy or they're gonna fucking scream. Do you understand? And like, 99% of people in this world do not have any self-control whatsoever. They have no agency, they have no freedom. They are simply slaves built to follow orders. And that's not a good thing or a bad thing. I'm not trying to be evil and talk down about people. But in life, there's winners and there's losers. And you know, just because I'm not a millionaire and I don't have tons and tons of money, you may say, oh, that guy's a loser. Fine, call me a loser. Call me whatever you want. Just make sure you type it on my fucking social media page and you comment under my posts so I get more engagement, so I can fucking aura farm you. Do you understand? The only difference between winners and losers is the amount of times they failed and got back up. And it's like, I don't want to fucking be a fucking retarded, gay, homosexual, motivational speaker just repeating and regurgitating like idioms and sayings that I've heard online. But I have so much fucking testosterone and blood flowing through my veins that I literally cannot sit still every single second of every fucking day. Do you understand? And you may look at me and you say, oh, he's got bags under his eyes. Look at him. He's not healthy. You know, he's got acne. He's got a receding gum line from smoking. You know, he's damaged himself. But it's like, I would rather burn out than fade away. You know? I'd rather burn out than fade away. It's just ones or zeros, bro. It's things that are making you move faster and things that are slowing you down. I'm drinking like herbal tea with raw honey, and this raw honey, it's like the size of like a little water bottle, and it's fucking $30 a jar. $30 US. It costs 3 minimum wage hours to get this jar of honey, and it's just like, I've had times in my life, one day I got a $4,000 paycheck from a solar deal. I sell solar panels, that was the commission-only sales job. I got a $4,000 check. Do you know what I did? I fucking sent $1,500 to some guy in Dubai for mentorship. His name was Hassan, super rich online guy. I was like, hey, let me pay you $1,500 for a couple of Zoom calls and mentor me. I was like, bet, let me waste as much money as possible and invest in my testosterone levels so I have to keep going. That's the only thing I know how to do. And it's like, I was buying spring water out of glass bottles. I was buying the Mountain Valley spring water bottles. I was buying like raw milk and Amish butter and like grass-fed steaks and fucking Wagyu and like, oh, I was spending as much money as humanly possible. One week, I spent $500 on weed, and one time I bought an ounce for like $200 or something. I smoked like for a few minutes, and I was like, I looked at my friend, I was like, yo, bro, do you want this? I don't even want it. And I just gave him like $200 worth of weed because I don't fucking care. I was manifesting. It's called manifesting, nerd. Read about it. Fucking read a book. But at the end of the day, this life that I have is a result of my standards. You are never ever gonna rise to like these lofty dreams and aspirations. You are always going to coast barely above your bare minimum standards. The crackhead is always gonna find his hit. The gym bro is always going to hit a bench PR, even on leg day. And it's like, there is literally no amount of just sitting in the same place wishing your life was different that's ever gonna actually change your life. You know, if you change your environment, you will change your life. And if I have to ask myself, what's the most valuable thing I could tell people that are watching this that want to live a life of freedom and fucking power and like youth and testosterone like I do, and that's, you can have literally anything you want. You could have anything you could fucking imagine if you just get obsessed and it's all you can think about. Go back to middle school when you were super obsessed with Legos or soccer, and if all you think about every second of every day, that is what you're going to get. So get more shredded.